Franklin is a partner with the New York-based lobbying firm Gotham Government Relations and Communications. He joins me now from New York. And Shai, we are expecting Trump to speak in just a few minutes, so my apologies in advance if I have to cut you off if he starts speaking. But I do want to hear your reaction to the court proceedings that took place today in New York.
So Trump has this public persona, and we've seen this before, where he is very verbose and combative, but and in fact he'll say outright lies, which are demonstrable lies on TV or to his supporters, and then when he gets into the court or into some judicial proceeding, he will be very short and polite and do what he needs to do for his legal efforts. So he has this political persona and a legal persona. And tonight we're going to see really his political persona because he is trying to, well, he's trying to milk this, of course, to turn this into a positive. And $10 million in 1 week is actually not any breaking any records in terms of campaigns in the United States, which are really into the billions of dollars now. So he will also try to turn around what is a legal setback and make some political advances. What he is doing is not necessarily going to help him in a general election, but it does help shore up his base. It really knocks all the other candidates who might challenge him for the Republican primary, for the Republican nomination, out of the water, especially Governor DeSantis, who is the governor of Florida, where Mar-a-Lago is. And it's a little ironic because just steps from where he's going to be speaking tonight is where all these highly classified government documents were discovered, which, as has been mentioned, is another case that is pending possible indictment from him within the coming weeks.
Yeah, Shai, to your point about Trump trying to turn this into a positive, he must be loving this attention no matter what, this whole media circus surrounding this whole case. And as you mentioned, he did see millions of dollars in campaign contributions just in the days following the announcement of this indictment. So do you think that this has solidified him then as the Republican candidate for 2024?
I think it has solidified him, unless, of course, he gets convicted of a crime, which probably won't even happen before the election because these things can take many, many months. It has solidified him as the candidate. It has also solidified the Republican Party post 2020 as still the party of Donald Trump. So that's really what it is. And in terms of loving this attention and everything, he loves it. He loves the adulation, which he's getting tonight. But he really also he can't help himself. He has an emotional need for this, even to his detriment, because this will certainly not help his legal case. The judge admonished him and other litigants today to not take to the public airwaves to make threats and other incendiary remarks. So we'll see if he can restrain himself tonight.
As you said, this case could drag on for a while, possibly even beyond the election. How realistic is it, you think, that this will actually go to trial?
I think it's really a question. We'll find out, I guess, in December if the judge decides that there will be probably motions for dismissal. And I have partners who are attorneys. I'm not an attorney. But cases like this have gone to trial. Cases like this have led to convictions, including very prominent politicians such as John Edwards, who was the running mate for the Democratic presidential nomination. He was the vice president running mate with John Kerry in 2004. So it could. But again, there are other cases. There's several federal cases. There's a case in Georgia, again, a local case involving election interference. So each of those will continue without prejudice from anything he says tonight or anything that happens in the case in New York, because those are really judicial and law enforcement proceedings which are not influenced by the politics. To the extent they're influenced by the politics, it's to help Trump, because a normal person would have been indicted probably many months ago.
You talked about Trump having two different type of personalities, the political persona and then the person we saw in the courtroom today where he was, more polite and succinct. I'm wondering if this case does drag on and actually go to a trial and we see Trump in a courtroom on trial taking the stand, perhaps, or even if he doesn't take the stand, is there a chance that his core base of supporters, which seem to support him no matter what, could potentially be turned off, especially if the intimate details of this case come out?
As you said, they will support him no matter what. The intimate details are all well known. Certainly the salacious details, they're all well known. Other salacious details of other cases are well known and established. Some of them, he was on an open mic, he was bragging about these kinds of escapades. And the people that are with him now, the people that are in that room, they've been with him through everything. And there's nothing that could come out that would, at this point, avert them. The problem for Trump is that it is an increasingly smaller piece of the political pie. Every year, another few million Americans turn 18 and they get to vote, or they register to vote for the first time. People become citizens, and the bulk of those new voters are voting for something different than Donald Trump. And if that is what the Republican Party stands for, they will not be showing up. So he will not lose supporters, but he also won't gain supporters.
Shai, you're in New York, and I know that Trump doesn't seem to be very popular in New York. How likely is it that if this goes to trial, what's the likelihood of finding a jury that's impartial?
It depends what the charges are. I was actually on a jury. I was a potential juror a few months ago on a case involving one of Trump's offshoots. But the case really came down to, like most of these cases, it came down to emails and data and forensic counting. And I felt that even though I'm certainly not a fan of Donald Trump. I oppose Donald Trump. I'm a registered Democrat, but I did feel that I would be impartial. For whatever reason, they didn't select me for the jury, but it really comes down to judging the evidence on the particular case, and that is what the judge instructs. And I think most New Yorkers will be fair-minded on that. And most New Yorkers are not showing up to protest, whether they like Donald Trump, they don't like Donald Trump. Staten Island, one of the boroughs, is firmly for Donald Trump. Queens is probably mixed. Brooklyn, it depends on the issue. So it's not like 99% of New Yorkers are against Donald Trump.
All right, we'll leave it there. Shai Franklin joining us from New York. Shai, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.